Introductions. Hello artists, my name is Krisha Mulder and I'm the founder of the Ask the Artist project. I would like to start off by thanking you for agreeing to let us host an interview with you. And basically I've created this video to help you get a better understanding of how our interview processes work, starting off with the types of interviews that we conduct. Types of interviews. Live interviews versus live lessons. There are two types of interview processes that you can pick to be a part of. The first option is a traditional interview. In a traditional interview, all you have to do is answer general questions from interview participants. These may include more personal-oriented questions, such as those inquiring about how you got started out in art or your future plans with your work. The fans will ask you questions in live time and you will respond to them in live time. This means that you will not know what questions will be asked until the fans ask them when the live interview is in progress. The interview participants will post questions for you in a chat box, and you will be able to reply verbally via the live streaming video or audio feed. However, note that you will be able to selectively pick and choose the questions that you answer. You will not have to answer all the questions that the fans post in the chat box. Alternatively, the second option you can pick is to host a live lesson or a live tutorial. In a live lesson, you will film a portion of your artistic process for the fans to show them how to accomplish a specific creative technique that you have learned. This can be accomplished using a video camera or screen sharing your computer's desktop. Like in an interview, the fans may ask you questions in live time, and you can respond to them in live time if you so choose. However, most of the questions will be asked by fans prior to the live lesson. In other words, we will collect questions from the fans in advance and then forward them to you prior to hosting the live lesson, so that way you can plan out a tutorial based on the questions that you've received. Hosting a live lesson instead of a live interview will be a good option for you if you're not too keen on the idea of being surprised by questions and would like more time to prepare for the event in advance. After considering all the options, please let the Ask the Artist team know which type of event you would prefer to host, a live interview or a live lesson, and we'll get to work in preparing for the event of your choice. If you have any questions or concerns about either of these two types of events, please let us know and we'll be happy to help you. Our goal is to make you as comfortable as possible with the interview process. Video interviews versus audio interviews. Now, if you choose to host a live interview, then you will also be given the option of picking either a video interview or else an audio interview. In a video interview, the fans will both see your face and hear your voice in live time as you answer questions. In an audio interview, the fans will not be able to see your face, but they will be able to hear your voice as you answer questions. For audio-based interviews, we may ask for an image from you, which will display on the screen with a voiceover of you answering the questions. This image can be a photograph, cover art, an illustration, or another type of graphic, as long as you have permission to use it, of course. Preparing for the interview. After you've selected the type of interview process that you would like to host, we will begin preparing for the event. To start with, we will ask you for an image that we can use to promote the event throughout our social networks. As mentioned before, this image can be a photograph, cover art, an illustration, or any other type of graphic as long as you have permission to use it. We will then schedule a date and time for the interview with you, and using the image you have provided us with, we will begin promoting your live interview or lesson via our social networks. Since we like to get fans to participate in the interview events, we will also ask you to promote the live interview or live lesson to your fans as well. Note that we are always willing to work around your schedule, and we are considerate of global time differences when planning an interview date and time. Just let us know what date and time works best for you. Using Ustream.tv. The Ask the Artist project has connections with the staff at Ustream.tv, which provides the software we use to host the interviews. Ustream is a video streaming service, and it allows users to stream video or audio in live time without having to download any software. We have created a demo Ustream.tv account for you to practice using prior to the interview. We highly recommend that you take a few minutes to practice using the platform prior to the interview date. Note that this demo Ustream.tv account is not made known to anyone who follows our project, so your practice streaming sessions should be private. For the real interviewer lesson, we will be giving you access to Ask the Artist official Ustream.tv channel, and you will be using this to host the interview. Note that an Ask the Artist team member will be working with you both before and during the interview to help you get comfortable with the platform and the interview process. Ask the Artist team members will be on hand to moderate the chat room and to manage the overall interview process, so all you will have to worry about is just answering questions at your leisure. During the interview, an Ask the Artist team member will be getting in touch with you about a day prior to your scheduled interview time. We will be giving you access to a method of staying in contact with us during the interview so you can talk to us in private or behind the scenes of the interview without anyone else seeing. This way you can get help from us and we can actively support you if you hit any kind of snag or if you just need periodic reassurance. Our team members will offer you your choice of contact method, including our chat room, Skype, phone calls or texting, Facebook Messenger, email, or another means of contact that you are most comfortable with using. We will ask you to show up 30 minutes to an hour before the scheduled interview time to touch base with staff, get prepared, and to practice using Ustream again if needed. Just before you go live, we will blast out a quick promotion of the event throughout our social networks again, and we may ask you to do the same. When we finally go live, our team members may start off by going over some introductions with the interview participants in the chat box. We may also provide you with a short scripted introduction if you would like one. Note that the Ask the Artist project's patrons or sponsors may possess what we refer to as a first dibs or a line cutter pass. Our staff members will ask to see how many participants have this pass during the initial introductions. If any participant has this pass, it just means that they will get first dibs to post their question for you before anybody else does. After we get all the introductions cleared away, we will announce the start of the interview or live lesson, and then you can begin reading and responding to these questions and others. While the live interview or lesson is in progress, you will see questions from fans pop up in the chat box on your screen. You can pick and choose the questions that you want to answer. Just remember to relax, go at your own pace, and do not worry about impressing anyone. Just think of it like a conversation. Note that you can always call out an intermission during the live interview or live lesson at any time if you want to quickly talk to us, experience a problem, or just need to take a break. If this happens, simply tell the fans that you need to take a break for a second. Then you can switch the feed source to a picture and then turn off the audio stream. Alternatively, if you're not comfortable with doing this, you can always simply cut the feed or end the streaming session altogether and then restart streaming again later. It won't be any problem for us if you do this. On a final note, please understand that those who will watch the recorded version of the interview later will not be able to see any of the questions that were posted by viewers during the live interview. Therefore, they may not understand your answers or responses to these questions out of context. To solve this problem, we have devised a format for answering questions that we feel helps to make the interview process go more smoothly. In short, just remember to repeat both the username and the question before you respond to or answer the question. For example, I might say, SurferGirl27 asks, how did you first get started in art? And then I would proceed to answer this user's question. This helps keep all your responses in context for those who end up watching the recorded version of the interview later. Our biggest goal is that the interview process goes as comfortably for you as possible. Ask the Artist team members will be on hand to support you and will be moderating and managing the chat box and interview process behind the scenes. If there's anything else you would like us to do for you to make your interview process more comfortable, please just ask us. After the interview. Once we hit the end time of the interview and the interview or lesson has concluded, our team members will make closing statements in the chat room. We may also provide you with a short closing statement to read if you so choose. After the public interview has concluded, we will ask if you would like to join us for a 10 to 15 minute long after interview wrap party in a private chat room. Here our team members will take a little time to chat with you, mostly just to see how the interview went. Note that during this time, we may have Ask the Artist patrons or sponsors come into the chat room to chat with everyone for a bit as well, and they may want to ask you just a few final questions, if you are comfortable with doing so. Note that the after-interview wrap parties will not be recorded. Following the interview, we will also ask you to take a short survey, which will confirm for us how we did in supporting you during the interview. It should only take a few minutes, and we will use the information you provide for us in the survey to guide our efforts in optimizing the video to your specifications. For example, you will be able to ask us to edit parts of the interview if you so choose. Once the interview has concluded, our team will be optimizing the video and adding an introduction and credits segment to it. At this point, if you would like us to promote any of your websites or social networks, we can add the URLs to these in the video credits. After the video is ready, we will be uploading it to our public archive of interviews and we'll be promoting it again via our social networks. We will provide you with a copy of the interview or lesson as well, so you can link your followers to it for all your fans who may have missed the live event. Next steps. That's all. For your next steps, all you have to do is visit the following link to select an interview type, either a traditional interview or a live lesson, and a media type, either video or audio. We will also ask you to pick some preliminary dates and times that will work for you to host the interview. Interviews typically last for about an hour, and you will be able to schedule an end time. Note that you do not have to commit to the interview type or media type that you select now if you would like to change your mind later. One of the Ask the Artist team members will then reach out to you shortly to solidify a date and time for the interview, to begin preparing for the interview type and media that you would like to use, and to generally prepare you for the next steps. If you have any questions for me personally, you may shoot me an email at any time at AsktheARTIST@freeartist.net, and I will be happy to help you. Thank you so much again for allowing the Ask the Artist project to conduct an interview with you. If there's anything else we can do to make your interview experience more comfortable, please let us know. We are very grateful to all the artists that allow us to interview them, and we want to do our best to support